So my FATEEG Formula program focuses on a lot of different areas that need to be addressed comprehensively
Mhm.
to provide some extra resources. The human body will heal just about anything if it's got enough energy to be able to take care of it, right? And so the F is for fuel. So we're going to identify what we're fueling our body with and try to eliminate as much toxicity as possible with those fuel sources. A is what is A? Awareness, right?
Yes.
I'm like I've been working on a new so
Acronym.
the entry part of my fatigue formula is this reboot process, and I've been working
Yeah.
on that today, and so I just was drawing a blank for a minute there. So I talk about awareness a lot. That's no
Mhm.
surprise. Basically, we're going to develop awareness. That's how we're going to start to unravel all this stuff. So I have a lot of processes to help you develop awareness. And then T is for toxins.
Mhm.
I evaluate 12 categories of toxicity, and that, you know, uh, there's emotional toxicity, but then there's bacterial and chemical and mycotoxins and viral toxicity and chemicals, the list goes on. And so we evaluate all those categories of toxicity and what your body is struggling to manage. So toxicity is huge.
Yeah, we
And
talked a lot about that in our
yeah.
last podcast together. Yeah.
So
Sorry to
that's
interrupt.
particularly so the fuel is addressing the toxicity that's coming in current. Every day we're eating and we're breathing air and we're assimilating new toxicity every day. So we're trying to lighten the daily load we're dealing with. But then the T is dealing with the stored and accumulated toxins that we got to figure out what are we really dealing with and then come up with a targeted protocol to
Mhm.
address it. And then there's elimination. The first E is for elimination. If we mobilize toxicity and the elimination process is not working properly, then all we do is mobilize the toxicity and your body's going to store it somewhere else. And it may have stored it better the first time because maybe when it stored it the first time, it had more energy to like think through it and figure out where was the least offensive place to store it. So we've got to make sure that the process of elimination is going to get the job done. And then the second E is for energy. And so the human body is essentially a big electrical circuit, a rechargeable battery. And so there are lots of ways that we can support our body with with electrons until our body is making electrons sufficiently on its own again. You've got to have the energy in order to be able to handle, these other processes, the elimination, addressing the toxicity. And so sometimes we need to supplement with electrons, and I do that with technology. And then G is for genetics. And I cannot tell you how many women come into my clinic and with some crazy disease diagnosis and some story that's heartbreaking of what they've been through to that point. And so, they share their story with me, and it's